Peace, peace, peace. What's poppin', my weebles? It's your boy, Sincere Seven, aka Sincere Genesis, aka that one guy, aka Stop. Yo, coming to you live and direct from the Psychonaut Academy at Detroit, representing the House of Genesis. So I just came to kick it a minute. Got up, got my ones and twos around the temple done and completed. And so I was just getting ready to get to my work. Said I was gonna stop and have me a little cup of cacao, you know what I'm saying? Blaze me one before I get to it. And I said I wanted to hop on and kick with my weebles for a minute. So as many of y'all know, we just finished a sacred snake venom practitioner training class. So I absolutely love to teach. I think I love to teach more than I love to do anything more. I think I just spent years doing all the things that I did so I could be masters in them so that I could teach them. I was going to college for secondary education when I was in my 20s. So I've been wanting to be a teacher. Well, I've been a teacher. I've been wanting to be certified and taught, but it was natural. But anyway, so in this last class that I had, we were teaching, next generation's snake venom practitioners here in America. Shout out to all the people who graduated class. Well, when I was in class, a discussion came up. And I had to make it very clear to my students that I do not practice an anti-Western hating practices. Anti-Western medicine is what I'm talking about. I have noticed that there are a lot of healers, a lot of practitioners, a lot of herbalists, a lot of Kingdom of Man practitioners, Kingdom of Mineral, all of these kingdoms, and the alternative practitioners seem to be anti-Western medicine. And I just wanted to stop for a minute and just kind of speak on that real quick. I ain't gonna be here long. To get right to it, I'm gonna tell you what I told the individuals that were students while they came through here. Don't be anti-Western medicine. That's what I told them. I don't tell nobody anything. I invited them to not be anti-Western medicine, right? And like, I've had people who have been surprised by that. And they're like, oh, well, you're an alternative medicine practitioner. Like, why would you support the Western medicine? Easy. Because I support my client. You want to know what I want more than anything? I want my clients to heal. I want my clients to return to their better way of life. I want my clients to find the freedom and the sovereignty to live the way they want, freely, in a state of, how we get our state, quality of life, right? Increase our quality of life. I want them to heal from their diseases. I want them to lose the things that are keeping them up at night. So with that being said, I don't care what you use to do it. Okay? That's what I'm trying to explain. Now, let me also go a little bit further with this. When I was getting my human design analysis done, part of it, she went into basically, your diet, the way you eat, the way you operate, all of these different things. And one of the things that she brought up, and I've had quite a few human design analysis, but I never had anybody speak on what she spoke on to me, which was, oh, your human design is telling me that you should never do Western medicine. Advil, Tylenol, ibuprofen, blase split, whatever it is that comes from the Western medicine, I should avoid it. I should avoid liquor. Yeah, there goes that. All right. So, but let's stay focused. I should avoid any type of Western medicine protocols. Okay. So I was like, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why I became the medicine man. Maybe that's why my was crafted this way. Maybe this was more about myself than it. And then I got to thinking, if you're telling me that per my human design, I am not supposed to do any type of Western medicine, well, as a student of metaphysical sciences in the Kabbalion or the universal principles, it basically states that for every action there was an equal and opposite reaction or existence. Male, female, black, white, hot, cold. Western medicine, Eastern medicine. I said to myself, if this individual is being told from their human design that they are not designed for Western medicine, in my mind, that means that there is people out there who are not designed for what? The total opposite. Alternative medicine. Now, hold on. There's a lot of wise and intelligent people out there that's probably ready to debate me in battle and jump on my head like, wait a minute, did you just say that by human design, there are people who are not designed for Eastern medicine? How, when Eastern medicine has been here longer than Western medicine has? Eastern medicine, or the original way, is from the plants and the animals and all of this, right? I'm with you. I'm with you on that. So it's like, so how could you say that this isn't designed for people when this was here before any of that shit was here? And my answer to that is, I'm not saying it. It said it. And if it's saying it, then it has some type of idea. I'm not a human design teacher. Let me be very clear. But what I'm gathering in my mind is that there are two different frequencies or energies. One of them is from this side. One of them is from that side. Eastern medicine represents this frequency. Western medicine represents this frequency. So even though when we say Western medicine, we think of things like chemotherapy and pills and different substances that they provide to us, I go further and say basically something that's in this frequency and something that is in this frequency. So Eastern medicine, or the natural frequency, would be a certain frequency. And in my mind, Western medicine has a total different frequency regardless of what the ingredient is you're using. So for me, it's not saying, oh, you should use water and these people use the opposite of water. It's not saying that. It's saying that the frequency, in my mind, let me be very clear, this is my mind. So with that being said, I'm not thinking, oh, these things weren't here before. I'm thinking the frequency of in tune with the earth and the things that is opposite or outside of or in opposition to, right? Whatever it might have been, okay? I'm sure that thousands of years ago, I assume, I'm not sure, I assume that thousands of years ago, when there was a certain way of handling something by a medicine man or by a healer, there was somebody else somewhere who represented something different. They would say, no, use this instead of that. That's what I'm saying. So with that being said, in my mind, there are people who should use Western medicine and not use Eastern medicine. What sense does that make? I'm going to tell you what sense that makes. I think that those people are naturally inclined to be outside of themselves, to be unnatural. You ever met those people who thrive in eating bullshit like Burger King and McDonald's and chips and cookies and whatever the fuck? And when they start eating what we might call a more healthy or a balanced diet, things start to come up. Things start to go wrong with them. And so I'm like, okay, some people have taken themselves so far out of nature that natural things will not respond. So let's be very clear. If you talk to your herbologist, they'll tell you if you're going to start using these natural herbs and medicines to heal, you need to stop eating all of those and using all of those things that are not natural. Get off the processed foods. Get off of this. Get off of that. That's what they'll tell you. They'll tell you like, we're not going to heal you of this if you're still using, eating, and taking all of these things, right? So some people, I think, thrive off of Western medicine, and Eastern medicine or natural medicine won't. Like, you got to think, if you've altered your body. Okay, here we go. You heard about this dude who used plastic, some type of plastic, made a plastic based gasoline. So now the car can run off this a plastic based gasoline, right? Well, if he turns that into an actual gasoline, I'm sure that within 10 to 20 years, they will start to alter the cars to accept that better than what we call regular gasoline. So those cars will start to run off of that. And if you go back to giving them regular gasoline, they're gonna go sludgy. They're gonna go fucked up performances. It's gonna be opposite. So I think that there's people that have been eating so fucked up, eating so out of pocket, doing everything that's so far from nature that they have created a new system in their body, right? And that system is going to respond to those types of things. So if they get sick, they have to use a petroleum-based Western medicine. If they use the Eastern medicines and the natural things, they won't work. Now, that's my hypothesis. But let's go deeper than that. Why should an alternative health practitioner not be anti-Western medicine? Because if your client comes to you and is on the fence, they want to heal, they don't know whether to go to a hospital or go. Matter of fact, I'll use an example that I had. I had a client come to me who had a debilitating disease that I have had numerous positive results with. Okay? So I'm confident when I'm talking to this person that, yeah, we can take care of this. So while we're talking, the person is saying, well, I want to do this, but I'm not sure, because I'm thinking about going the Western route and dealing with the hospital and letting them give me blah, blah, blah. My answer was, okay, you just let me know what you want to do. They went on to explain, I really don't want to do the Western medicine because it's this, it's that, and I heard it was this. And my response was, I'm very aware of that. I understand that. So if you don't want to do that, I'm here. We can get started on this, that, and the other. So then they were like, well, I'm kind of worried, though, because this isn't really something that I could read about or know about, So I'm a little bit nervous about going with this instead of that. So my response was, okay, tell you what. Usually we do 90-day journeys. We see where people are at, and we start over. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a 30-day journey with you. I'm telling you, by at the end of 30 days, we should see a difference in the positive. Now, if you see that, we can move forward. If you don't, you can switch it up. Okay, cool. We'll do that. All right, bet. A week or two later, they said, hey, the Western medicine people are talking to me and they want me to come in and get this put into my body so that I can start blah, blah, blah. But we're not starting though. So should I do it? I said, yeah. And somebody who is an alternative practitioner was like, why are you telling them to do it? I said, because we said we're going to give them 30 days. If it works, we'll go forward. If it don't, they can switch. If I tell them don't get that put in, and in the 30 days, it doesn't work for whatever reason, they might have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to get another appointment to do that. I don't want to hold them up if something does change. See, we went forward a month. They went and got tested out, came back. Guess what? What we was doing wasn't working. And what was there had developed even more. So, all right, well, and I told them, we can do this, we can check it, boom. So at that point, she was like, oh, damn, all right, well, I'm going to start doing what they had set for me. And since I got this put in, I can start immediately, boom. She started her Western medicine. 2 to 3 weeks later, she calls me and says, yeah, that shit's almost gone. Let me be very clear. The only reason she called me and told me that was because we're still in good standings. And you know why? Because it wasn't about me. It was about her. Imagine what if I would have told her, girl, fuck that shit. Fuck that Western medicine. Fuck that bullshit. Don't do that. Fuck with me. Oh, they want to put that in, man. Fuck that shit. You don't need that shit. You rocking with me. So, right? Then once we figured out, because imagine she wouldn't even went back and got checked out. after 30 days. We would have went 90 fucking days. The whole time this shit would have been fucking developing more in her body. I'm not here to promote me. I'm here to promote health. Anything we need to do to get you healthy, I'm with it. And the fact that I told her the truth, I'm not sure, but we could walk into it. I've had plenty of people, because I have had plenty of people. This has been my first negative testimonial. Let me be very clear. But I'm willing to share it because, again, it's not all about me. It's about my clients. It's not all about alternative health and snake. No, these are alternatives that you have if you don't want to fuck with them people, because some people didn't want to fuck with them people, can't fuck with us, and now they good. But apparently, now we have people who didn't want to fuck with them people, came and fuck with us. It didn't help, and they had to go back and fuck with them people. And guess what? It worked. And guess what? I am happy that it worked. I'm happy that my client is now healing. That's what's important to me. Not that I'm known as the greatest, not that I'm the only one to come to, not that, like, it's a lot of stuff that people be saying, and when I'm witnessing, I'm going, what is your focus? Like, it's your, because it don't seem. So that's why I told my students, don't be anti-Western medicine. Why would I be anti anything that's assisting somebody that I say I care about? That's like saying somebody hanging off a cliff and they need help, and I'm running to help them, and somebody else reaches down to grab them, and I push them out the way. Move! No, I'm helping them. Why would you reach down there? Whole time they falling, right? Nah, it ain't about us. It's about our client. So, with that being said, y'all stop being so damn anti-Western medicine, especially if you ain't studied it. This whole idea that Western medicine is here to destroy us and kill us as a people, and all of these stupid things that people say to each other to try to entice them to spend money with them. Stop, y'all. Stop. Right on. It's not about the self or me. It's about we and what we can do to support their wellness goal. That's right, Planet Niobe. That's right. It's about our client. They need to heal. All right, how can we get you healed? Because if the snake venom and the scorpion venom gonna get you right, let's get you right. But if that didn't operate with your body right and the chemotherapy will, then shit. If the black neck spin cobra and the coffee cherry seeds don't get that blood sugar balance, you gotta do the insulin, shit. You know what I'm saying? If the neurological, come on, like, that's alternative medicine. Do we want them hating on us? Nah, they do it. But are we gonna exercise that same shit? Because imagine and think about why they do it. Don't match them, y'all. What Michelle say? When they go low, we get high. What you mean that ain't what she said? That is what my Michelle Obama said. When they go low, we get high. Well, it was something like that. Anyway, so yeah, we ain't here to diss people's other options. We just here to offer the integrity and the works and the knowledge and the wisdom that we have, should they want something different. And with that being said, tell somebody you love them in a language that they can understand it in, like supporting them in whatever their decision is. I love y'all. Peace.